Today we are going to perform general maintenance and seal replacement for a Kamvalok coupler. We start by removing the 4 bolts on the top near the elbow. After the 4 bolts are removed, you can slide the opposing sets of plates apart from the coupler elbow and set them aside. Once the bolts and plates are removed, you can pull off the elbow. Remove the elbow from the coupler as well as the seals from within the opening and off of the end of the elbow. Continue to pull the 3 inner seals from the inside of the coupler. There's a black O-ring near the outside, another black O-ring further in, and then a white seal. Once those are removed, you can see the inside to the camshaft assembly. We will be removing these cotter pins right here. And to do this, you bend the ends to straighten them, and then grab the pin with your needle nose plier, gently pulling the pin out on both sides of the linkage. Rotating the camshaft while holding the cotter pin legs will help you with this procedure. Once the pins are removed, the washers are freely moving on the camshaft. And after the pins are out, we will remove the poppet. Take a large straight screwdriver and remove the center screw. Once the screw is removed, you must pull the small seal off the end of the screw. You can discard the seal and set the screw aside for later. With the screw removed, we can now remove the set screw in the middle of the poppet. Take the long-handled Allen wrench and place it into the poppet, slowly unscrewing the set screw until it comes loose, and you can set that aside for later. After the set screw is removed, you turn to the handle or lever and close it. We can then remove this large black gasket. Pull it out and discard it. We will replace this with your seal kit. Get your dummy adapter and open the arms on the side of the coupler. Place the dummy adapter over the end and clamp the arms down. Place this poppet removal tool down into the opening and turn until it tightens up. Then you open up the lever to remove the pressure on the seal cylinder. With this pressure released, you can unscrew and remove the poppet. Keep the pressure on the arms to keep everything in place. With the poppet removed, you can close the lever again and carefully release the pressure on the arms. It's important that you hold the end of the cylinder as you do this to keep the coupler from flying apart. You will feel pressure releasing as the arms open. The cylinder is spring-loaded and must be held as you pull the arms open. Now we're going to go in after the inner spring and seal cylinder. Carefully remove the seal cylinder and the spring and set them aside. Next, we're going to remove this O-ring right here. Take your screwdriver and place it into the channel and pry it loose and pop it out. The next step is the removal of the handle or lever. And to do this, we must put the coupler in a vise and gently tap out the pin with a hammer and awl. With the pin removed, the lever will come off to reveal the stuffing box. Unscrew the stuffing box and remove the seal on the threads. Discard the old seal and set aside the stuffing box nut. We can now remove the stem. Slide it out and remove the seal on the end of the stem or shaft. Take the shaft out and set it aside. And now we will remove the camshaft. Here's the camshaft. We pull it out, set it aside, and pull out the link. The final step in disassembly is to remove any remaining seals from the inside of the coupler. Now we're ready for reassembly. Prepare for reassembly by organizing your parts and the seals that were included in your seal kit. Start by replacing the main seal O-ring. Form it and gently press it into the groove inside the cylinder. Then give it a bit of grease all the way around. Next, take your spring and place it into the cylinder. Slide the white wear strip over the seal cylinder and place it onto the spring with the wear strip side going in first. Organize the next set of parts needed for reassembly. Remove the white guide legs on top of the poppet by firmly rotating and pulling the guide legs off the poppet shaft. Discard the old part and replace with the new one provided. Place it over the end and then press down firmly on the bench until the guide legs are firmly seated. Then take the link and thread it just a few turns until it catches. This will be adjusted later. Take the poppet with the link attached and place it over the open end of the cylinder and then lower it in. Now you take your dummy adapter and place it over the assembly. Press down on the dummy adapter with the arms up and in the open position. Press the dummy adapter down and make sure you have free play in the assembly. If it feels smooth, close the arms with the dummy adapter all the way down and lock it into place. This will set the seal cylinder. Next, take your camshaft and slide off the white bearing that the link rides on. Once you have it at the bend in the camshaft, place the lip of the white link bearing against the edge of the vise and tap it with your hammer until it slides off. Now we'll replace the link bearing by performing the same procedure in reverse. Put the bearing into the camshaft and then tap it against the edge of your vise with a hammer. Once the link bearing and washer are in the middle of the camshaft, we're ready to put in the first cotter pin. Slide it into the hole and use your pliers to spread and bend the legs of the pin over the shaft like this. Once the link bearing and pin are set, we reach under the coupler and feel for the bottom of the link. Place a finger against the side of the link and hold it in place with that finger while you slide the camshaft through the hole and catch the link like this. Push it through the hole in the link, then we'll take this washer and slide it onto the end of the camshaft. The camshaft is then pushed through and into this hole on the opposite side of the coupler body, just like this. Now we stand the Kamvalok coupler back up. Next, we'll take the seal and slide it over the shaft like this, and then slide the shaft back into the coupler. It's important to have the slot in the shaft match up with the coupler shaft like this. The crankshaft should be able to move and rotate freely. Stand up the coupler and place this seal over the top of the threads of the stuffing box and place it down to the base of the threads. Then gently screw the stuffing box into the side of the coupler until hand tight. Place an awl into the hole in the shaft so we can turn the crankshaft and the linkage. Take a large flathead screwdriver and place a little outward pressure against the washer and linkage assembly to create a clear path, and the hole in the camshaft should be visible. Then slide the other cotter pin through that hole and rotate the camshaft over and enable your pliers to turn the pin and close it off as you rotate the shaft. Holding the pin and rotating the shaft is an easy way to secure the cotter pin and bend over the legs. Take your screwdriver and pull the camshaft out as far as possible, which will allow us to reinstall the lever. Slide the lever on the shaft and put your awl into the inside of the hole, which will allow you to align the outside hole. Then tap the pin into the hole and secure the lever onto the shaft. The next thing we need to do is adjust the poppet to take the pressure off the adapter. You note that the adapter is still snug. We take our tool again and screw it down into the poppet and turn it about 4 or 5 rotations until it gets tight. Then open up the poppet by moving the lever toward you and turn the tool 2 or 3 more times. Then move the lever forward, which will release the pressure off the dummy adapter. Unthread the tool and open the arms on the side and pull the dummy adapter off. Now we're ready for our set screw, which will go right in the center of the poppet. Take your Allen or hex wrench and tighten it down, hand tight. Next, we'll replace the top screw, which goes in right here. We begin by replacing the seal on the top screw and slide it over the threads. Then place the screw in the end like this. Take your screwdriver and tighten it down hand tight. Now turn the coupler over and replace the seals for the elbow and the inside of the coupler. First, take this white seal and place it down inside. Then replace the series of seals for the elbow. Use this white one and this one, which goes on the outside like this. And then this one right here, and finally this one, which is a slightly larger black O-ring. Now we're going to grease them both. Grease the inside of the coupler and then the outside of the elbow seals. Now we're going to slide the elbow into the bottom of the coupler, just like this. Finally, we're ready for the plates. Place 2 of the plates in one direction, and then the other 2 plates will be placed in the opposite direction. Take your 4 bolts and thread them into the holes in the plates and down into the coupler. To complete assembly, flip over your coupler and place the main seal down inside like this. And we're finished.